Welcome to the channel. Today I'm back on fashion. I'm back on talking to you about your clothes, and specifically I want to show you how I tackle some of my dry cleaning items. I don't use the dry cleaner because I had one bad experience. I just decided from then on I'm just going to be dealing with it at home. I'm showing you how I do that. And also this is handy if you're going to be shopping secondhand more often. You want to be comfortable to wash. That way you give a garment a good welcome into your wardrobe, a personal touch, a good inspection, a good thorough wash. It's really about thoroughly washing and you being confident that you've thoroughly washed an item. Let's begin. So I have 4 items for you, and the first one is a set, a cream chiffon set, right? And then the second one is a cami. It's satiny. I know the material is polyester, but it's got this satin vibe. Yeah, I had a question about polyester, whether it's sustainable, is it good, is it bad to buy polyester? Listen, it's according to your budget. Whatever you can afford, whatever you have though, look after it and buy it with the intention to keep it long term, and know how to look after it. So things like washing. And actually, just a little spanner in the works, polyester is actually very durable, although its origins are not exactly great, especially when you look after it. It's a very strong material. The third garment is this silver balloon sleeved top, and then lastly is a blazer. That blazer gave me time, it gave me a headache, but you're gonna see. I would say, right, tip number 1, don't let it become a headache. Me personally, I ain't going to hand wash one item because I'm just not that girl, right? I will probably let it pile up like it has done. Now I have 4 items that need washing because the fancy clothes, I wear them when I'm going out or a special event or outing, whatever. I don't wear them that often, so when I do wear them, I just don't have the time and strength, and I'm not that much of an eager beaver about hand washing that I wash it straight away. No, so mine sits in the washing machine and washing basket until I'm ready, until they've piled up, because then I can just do it all at once, right? So I had all 4 of them, but the one that set it off was the blazer was now dirty. And you know, blazers, things that are thicker, don't be so eager to wash it every single time you wear it. And that's a tip from me, because a lot of people would tell you the same, because the more you wash something, the more you're tampering with its longevity and its structure. Especially thick things, they are harder wearing and they probably just need a little spot treatment. Basically, you wash them when they're they're dirty. I wore this blazer out to a birthday party, which was like a club vibe, and although it's not my vibe, but long story short, it was full. People were sweaty and it was just we needed to wash it. I rarely go to such like gatherings and everyone is hot and bothered and we're all rubbing it. I'm not like that normally, but what I'm trying to say is I had to wash it. So you're going to need a bucket if you have little, not much delicate things, right? A bucket comes in handy. Just keep that, have that. You need that. The soaps you use, now you can do you on this. You can go and buy special soaps and specific soaps or detergents. Personally, I like to use what I would usually use in my wash. Instead, I dilute it with a lot of water. The rest of the washing and thoroughness comes from the friction that I will cause, and you will see later on. So anyway, dilute with water to make it as light as possible so that the detergent is not too strong. And if you're using tablets like me, make sure you take out the sleeve, the plastic sleeve, because you're not going to be washing long enough for it to dissolve, or otherwise you'll be waiting a long time for it to dissolve. It will stick to your clothes and then it will dry like what I did before. It will dry on your clothes and it will just look nasty. So you either have a bucket or you're going to move it, or if it's a lot like mine, move it to the tub. Take it all to the tub because it's big enough to deal with everything all at once. What I will say though is don't soak. Try to avoid soaking things because you just don't know how that item is going to respond. So be there, tackle it, wash and get out, and rinse and get out. And also your water should be lukewarm. Keep it lukewarm, because then if it's hot, if it's cold, it might cause, it might shock the material and you just don't know how it's going to respond. So lukewarm is always the safest bet. Now, when you are washing, we're going to talk about the set, and we're going to talk about everything else and then the blazer, because the smaller items are quite similar in their care. The blazers, again, similar, but it has specific needs, right? The small item, do not do too much of this. I don't know how to describe this, but I think you can see what I mean. Again, it's antagonizing too much the garment. What you want to focus on doing is pressing out water, adding water, pressing it out, adding water, pressing it out. It's friction that washes. It's not even detergent, really. It's been proven. It's the friction in the washing machine. It's the friction when you are stomping on a garment. It's the friction when you are hitting a garment like they did in the old days, or hitting it on a stone or whatever, wherever you hit it. It's the friction that rubs out the dirt. And then also you want to wash your garments inside out, because then you're going straight in to tackle the dirt, because the inside part is what's been rubbing on your skin, what's been coming into contact with bodily fluids. So get in and tackle there first, right? And so you wash inside out. And also it reduces fading when you wash inside out. So both in washing machine and both in hand washing and both in spot treatments, or try to do it inside out, basically. So yeah, like I said, squeeze and dip in water, squeeze, dip in water. Do that as you're washing and as you're rinsing. I personally do not use those fabric softeners and those things that make it smell good and stuff. I don't trust it. That's me though. That's me. So when I've washed and I've rinsed, I'm finished, basically. Now onto the blazer. The blazer is the same thing, but you're not doing too much. You're not tampering with the structure too much. You wash it in the shape that it would be worn. If you want to step on it, I do that. If you want to just be pressing it and squeezing it, do that. Mine, right? I made a mistake, and this is how we learn from each other. I'm showing you, I'm telling you, I am teaching you my lessons learned. I'm not teaching you, but you know what I mean. So the drying step is very, very key for these thicker materials. Most people would tell you lay the blazer flat the way it is to be worn, or on a rack, lay it, don't let it hang. Now, if you're going to do that, it is crucial, it is imperative, it's important to make sure you've dried that thing, because any water, if it's left too much water, you're going to get yellowing like I did. Yep, you see this? I'm going to insert a clip. This is what's going to happen if you have excess water and you leave the garment alone to just drip all of that water. You have to dry it. And so basically it was my fault. I skipped a step. You mustn't skip the step of rolling the garment up into a burrito and then pressing out water, because you need to get rid of all excess water. There should be no excess water left, and then it dries, basically. I skipped that step, and then I had all that yellowing going on the thickest part of the blazer, and it makes sense because that's where the most water was. So I had to put it back into water. I just used plain lukewarm water, stepped in it, and the yellowing came off, and then I did the rolling on a towel, a very thick towel, obviously, to make sense with the size of the blazer. Now on the ironing, on the drying, on the steaming, like many normal human beings, I hate ironing. I hate ironing. I have an iron, but I always go for my steamer first because it's easier, right? It does the job, and it's actually better for the life of the garment. If you don't know what you're doing, ironing can actually ruin your clothes. Ironing can actually age your clothes quicker because you can burn them, and it's not the kind of burn you think is burning, but it's, the shininess. Yeah, that's you've killed it. You've done it wrong. And also I've heard, in the blog it says it's better to skimp on the iron than to skimp on the ironing board, apparently. So you have to have a proper ironing board which deals with all that steam properly, so it doesn't sit in the ironing board causing condensation. So if you don't have that, the ironing you're doing is questionable. And also for things like blazers, if you are going to choose to flat iron it, you want to press it not directly onto something else like I did, because sometimes you need that crisp finish, and I don't have an ironing board because I don't like ironing, but for my blazers I like that crisp finish. I press certain areas on a flat surface with my iron, steaming out and pressing it on another cloth and the blazer underneath, and then I steam it as well to just get rid of any creases. I leave it to just hang there and just let out all that steam and all that water that I've been putting it through, and my blazer will be nice and ready and clean. That's the steps. That's what I do. If I've not been clear, if I've missed anything, put it in the comments below. If I'm doing something wrong and you think you do it better, put it below. Don't attack me though, because hey, we're learning together. But yeah, no, I just thought I'd share because I know that dry cleaning can be expensive. My bad experience, by the way, was took it to the dry cleaners and my garment came out smelling of smoke. So obviously they had washed my garment with somebody who smokes. It kind of just became all one big family in there. My coat stunk basically. I had to come home and wash it by myself again, and that was the Burberry trench coat. I didn't film that, but I followed the exact same steps basically. Thank you so much for watching and staying to the end, and yeah, I'll see you in my next video, which is 6 p.m. UK time.